Welcome to this edition of Collier Focus. On today's show, we'll take a look at the Board of County Commissioners meeting. The Parks and Recreation Master Plan takes another step toward the future of Collier County parks. And multifamily units will still need a permit to replace a water heater for now. I'm Troy Miller. We'll cover these stories and more next on Collier Focus. Stay tuned.
Whether reporting on the latest news stories or hot issues, taking a look at county government services, or announcing what's happening around the county, this is Collier Focus, bringing government home.
At the recent Board of County Commissioners meeting, staff presented commissioners with a review and recommendation to approve the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. The master plan is used as a guide for future parks and recreation land acquisitions and facilities. The top three priorities are the development of Big Corkscrew Island Regional Park, construction of the Eagle Lakes Community Fitness Center and pool, and construction of additional athletic fields.
With this master plan, the goal is to look at the parks over the next 10 years and where is it that we want the park system to go, what do we want it to look like. And there was a lot of interest in the community specifically in two areas of the community. One is in the East Naples side, one is out in the Golden Gate Estates area. So the top two recommendations is for us to look at Eagle Lakes Community Park and try and get a community center in there, a fitness center and possibly a pool at that location. And then in the Golden Gate Estates area near the fairgrounds is to construct the Big Corkscrew Island Regional Park, which will have a 90-acre lake in it. So those are the two tops that came out of there. The other thing that came out of the plan is that our athletic fields are heavily utilized in areas overutilized, especially as it relates to rectangular fields that you would use for football, soccer, lacrosse, etc. So we do have a need to increase those, and we have to find some space to do that. The Big Corkscrew Island will accommodate some of that, but probably not enough.
The board voted 4-1 in favor of the plan, with Commissioner Georgia Hiller dissenting. Before the vote, the board made a few changes to the master plan, including removing any mention of charging residents for beach parking stickers and removing athletic fields from the proposed Manatee Park in East Naples. The board unanimously approved a recommendation to approve the local coordinating board recommendation for the provisions of paratransit service for fiscal year 2012. The paratransit program provides transportation services funded by three different programs: Medicaid Transportation Disadvantaged and ADA. Because of increased ridership, the BCC had to provide $137,000 to maintain the current paratransit service through September. A budget deficit of $219,000 is projected for fiscal year 2012. The Director of Alternative Transportation Modes, Michelle Arnold, explains what the LCB will do.
There's an increase in the demand for the services. More and more people are needing it, whether it's financial reason or, we obviously are in a community with a lot of elderly people and they're wanting to maintain their independence. So there's an increase in demand for services. However, our local dollars, as well as other funding sources, dollars are diminishing. So staff has been charged with looking at how we could continue the services, and one of the ways that we're looking at that is to increase fares potentially. And the riders actually proposed that in one of our public meetings. So we're having to go through a fare equity analysis. And then once we complete that analysis and come back with recommendations to the board to determine if it's appropriate to increase fares, and if it is, what the amount would be and how that could offset the shortfall in budget.
The local coordinating board is expected to return with their recommendations in April. Currently, riders pay about 20% of the cost of paratransit. The board tackled a hot topic while discussing the current requirement that a building permit is required to replace a water heater at a multifamily residence. In 2009, commissioners granted an exemption from the permit requirement to replace a water heater in a single-family home. Staff recommended keeping the multifamily permit requirement in place until the revised Florida Building Code is published next year and lowered the total permit cost to $65. The county found at least 50 Florida municipalities out of 78 surveyed that also require a permit to replace a water heater in a multifamily residence. The county staff sought a recommendation to obtain direction from the Board of County Commissioners regarding a proposed easement agreement between the county and beachfront property owners that would require the property owners to provide public beach access in exchange for placing sand, vegetation plantings, and dune restoration on their properties during beach renourishment projects. In the end, the board decided easement agreements were not necessary.
They do not want to move forward with the beach access easement agreement, and that because they believe it is not necessary for what we're trying to do. We don't have a history of that in Collier County. So we're going to go back to the old system that we have used before, which is a construction easement, which will allow us to access the private property to do the beach renourishments.
The county is planning another major beach renourishment in the next 2 to 4 years. If you feel like you're paying more for just about everything these days, you are sure to like this story. Waste collection fees will not see an increase in fiscal year 2012. Residential curbside rates will remain the same at $173.49 per residential unit for District 1, which includes most of Collier County, and $165.28 per residential unit for District 2, which includes Immokalee and Northeast Collier County.
With the board approval of the FY12 rate assessment, it's another example of 3 consecutive years where the assessments have been held at the same rate, and that's through cost containment, also because of recycling. The residents of Collier County have one of the highest participation rates and percentages of recycling in the state of Florida. That helps us to offset the cost for disposal. In addition to that, those rates are also offset by moving those materials, those recycled materials, out into competitive markets.
All of us here at Collier Focus want to say thank you for your outstanding participation in the recycling program. Plans for building a new bathroom and concession facility at Vanderbilt Beach got one step closer as the board approved a variance from the coastal construction setback line to allow for the construction.
If you look at what we're doing when we build the new bathroom facility, we're directly in line with the line of construction with all the properties to the north and the Ritz-Carlton to the south. So we've asked for the variance, the board has granted us a variance. It will allow us to build that new facility, and anything we would do in that location, we would need a variance. If we wanted to upgrade the existing facility that we had in there, we would have to build it, we'd have to elevate it, and we'd have to get a variance for that work. If we want to put it in with a concession stand and a deck, we would still need a variance for that. So all we asked is, this is a continuation of the permitting process and the engineering process. We needed to get this done so that we could then continue with the permitting with the state agencies and the rest of Collier County's permitting group.
The board approved the variance with a 3-2 vote. The coastal construction setback line is established by the state. The existing bathroom received a variance in 1993. Permitting and contracts should all be in place by August of 2012. On the consent agenda, the board approved adoption of 4 ordinances to repeal or amend county ordinances that regulate firearms so that county ordinances do not conflict with a new state law that takes effect October 1st. State law declares that only the state can regulate firearms and ammunition, and any local ordinances are null and void. County Manager Leo Oakes received his annual review from each commissioner. Commissioner Tom Henning had this to say about his working relationship with the county manager.
I just want to say my evaluations is I always do them, middle of the road, unless I see some improvements that need to be made or items that have been outstanding. I try to recognize those. And I feel privileged to work with Leo Oakes. He's always has addressed my concerns in a timely manner, and constituent concerns. So I'm just publicly say I'm very pleased with the leadership of the county manager, knowing that there will be some improvements, and we've had some discussions about that, and I look forward to working with Leo in the upcoming year.
Leo Oakes took over as county manager after the late Jim Mudd retired in 2009. Well, it's time for a break. When we come back, the North Collier Recycling Center is now open for business, and the tourism numbers are up this year after being adversely affected by last year's oil spill. All of that and more when Collier Focus continues. Welcome back to Collier Focus. In a budget hearing on September 22nd, the Board of County Commissioners adopted its FY 2012 budget, a budget that holds the line on property tax rates for the third consecutive year. The budget also marks the fifth straight year of reductions in the county's general fund. The general fund budget has been reduced by more than $86 million, or 21.8%, since the fiscal year 2007. The adopted FY 2012 general fund budget of $309,467,600 represent a reduction of $5,984,100, or 1.9%, from the current fiscal year. Chairman Fred Coyle is pleased with the results.
Well, I'm very happy with the budgeting process this year, as I was last year. The county manager and the staff have done a wonderful job of reviewing the costs in every department throughout government in order to cut the expenses. And the staff has been able to trim out over $12.5 million more this year in the face of declining property values and declining revenue coming to Collier County government. I think they've done a wonderful job. We have made the decision for the past 3 years to hold the property tax rates steady because we don't want people to have increasing property taxes during these difficult economic times. So yes, I'm very, very happy with the way the budgeting turned out.
Taxable value numbers provided by the property appraiser indicated a countywide taxable value decrease of 4.9%. Since 2008, Collier County's general fund taxable value has decreased $24.2 billion. The current general fund millage of 3.5645 is only slightly higher than the 1999 millage rate of 3.5510. Good news for Collier's tourism industry, as the 2012 summer's tourism numbers are up significantly over last year. We spoke with Tourism Director Jack Wirt about what the numbers mean.
Well, we just got our August tourism visitation and spending numbers, and for the seventh straight month we are up again, and this time pretty significant numbers. Our visitors were up nearly 15%. And spending was up 6%, so a lot of really good new activity in the community, and certainly a nice change from last year at this time when we were really feeling the ill effects of all that misinformation about the oil spill and where the oil was and certainly where it wasn't. And that really kept people away from the Gulf Coast in general, and they seem to be coming back this year.
The Tourism Department is currently finalizing their marketing strategy for the fiscal year 2012, in which they plan to build upon their successful campaign of 2011. A new route that will link Collier County and Lee County, called LINK, which stands for Lee in Collier, will begin on October 6th. LINK will operate 7 days a week with a Lee Tran bus leaving every 90 minutes from the Super Stop on Immokalee Road at Creekside Business Park, just east of US 41. This stop is on the CAT Red Route 1B/1C. The fare for the new route is $1.25. The Florida Department of Transportation and the Federal Transit Administration grant funds are helping to fund the new route. This route is a big deal for all of Southwest Florida.
We are doing a ribbon cutting on October 6th to have LINK, which is Lee in Collier, the bus connecting the two counties, and that particular event starts at 10:45. It's a big deal because we're going to finally connect the two counties. Residents and visitors are going to be able to ride from Collier to Lee and vice versa. They can get to shopping, work, and any other different destinations that they're wanting to do.
Operation hours for LINK is as follows: Monday through Saturday, 6:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, for more information, go to colliergov.net/CAT. Great news for North Collier residents as the new North Collier Recycling Drop-Off Center is now open. The center is located on the west side of the county's North County Water Reclamation Facility, just south of the intersection of Goodlet Frank Road and Immokalee Road. The North Collier Recycling Drop-Off Center is modeled after the Marco Island Recycling Drop-Off Center.
On September 15th, the newest of our recycling centers opened up on Goodlet Frank Road and Immokalee Road, just in front of the waste reclamation facility. That recycling center is going to bring services to over 65,000 residents where they can bring their household hazardous waste materials for proper disposal, as well as some of the recyclables. Those household hazardous waste materials include electronics, oil, herbicides, pesticides. They can also bring us their cardboard, plastics, electronics.
It is estimated that the North Collier Recycling Drop-Off Center will safely collect and divert over 600 tons per year of residential recyclable and household hazardous materials for processing. Now let's take a look at some upcoming Collier County government meetings. The following meetings are all held in the board meeting room on the third floor of the main administration building, 3299 Tamiami Trail East, at the Collier County Government Center unless otherwise indicated. On Thursday, October 6th at 9 a.m., the Collier County Planning Commission will meet. The Code Enforcement Office of the Special Magistrate will meet on Friday, October 7th at 9 a.m. And on Tuesday, October 11th at 9 a.m., the Board of County Commissioners will meet in regular session. For more information on Collier County government or to inquire about other meetings that have been scheduled since the taping of this program, contact the Communication and Customer Relations Department at 252-8848 or via email troymiller@colliergov.net. You can also click on our website at colliergov.net for more information. Well, it's time for a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at what's going on in the county parks when Collier Focus continues. Welcome back to Collier Focus. Now let's take a look at some of the many fun and interesting programs being offered through the Collier County Parks and Recreation Department. After School Adventures offers parents a safe and fun environment for their children when school is not in session. The program is for children from ages 5 to 12 and runs weekdays from 2:40 p.m. to 6 p.m. from January 2nd to June 2nd. The program is available in East Naples, Immokalee, Max Hass, Veterans, and Vineyards Community Parks, and the Golden Gate Community Center. For more information, call 252-4000. The Golden Gate Aquatic Facility offers youth aquatic lessons for children in 5 different levels based on their current abilities. There are several options for dates and times, so if you want more information on schedules and costs, call the Golden Gate Aquatic Facility at 353-7128. If you have arthritis and are looking for a low or no impact exercise, then the Golden Gate Aquatic Facility has the answer for you. Instructors for these classes are all trained by the Arthritis Foundation, and the exercises are specifically designed to give you a good workout with little or no joint impact. Classes are Fridays and Tuesdays from 11 a.m. until noon and are $5 each. If you want more information on the arthritis exercise class, call the Golden Gate Aquatic Facility at 353-7128. If you are interested in quilting, then the Naples Quilting Club is the place for you. They meet every Thursday from 1 to 3 p.m. at the East Naples Community Park, and the cost is free. If you feel like trying the tango, then sign up for Ballroom dancing classes. This course will introduce and review a new dance each week, including the foxtrot, the tango, the rumba, and swing dancing. So put on your dancing shoes and meet at East Naples Community Park on Fridays from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. The cost is $5 per class. Learn how to be the best babysitter at Babysitting Boot Camp. The course is designed to teach all the basics in babysitting, including CPR and first aid training. Participants must be 11 years old and must attend all classes. For more information and costs, call 252-4000. If you're having trouble controlling your canine, then basic dog obedience may be just what you need. Using consistency, repetition, and positive reinforcement, this course helps owners learn how to communicate with their trusted companions. You will also learn handling skills, basic obedience, cues, and verbal commands. Basic dog obedience is for dogs 4 months to 10 years old. The class meets on Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. at Veterans Community Park. For cost information, call 252-4000. There's a whole lot more to do in Collier County, not mentioned here on Collier Focus. For information regarding the location of county parks and other activities, contact the Parks and Recreation Department at 252-4000 or the Collier County Communication and Customer Relations Office at 252-8848. Well, that's all the time we have on this edition of Collier Focus. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.